Depending on what religious book you believe contains the character that is actually God, um, do you believe that God has been telling certain races of people to slaughter other races of people over land for millennia now? Or do you think that people who have another agenda have been saying that God said to do that so that they could kill people and take their land? I think it's pretty clear. And if there is some spiritual, religious, spooky, paranormal aspect to it, well, whatever spirit, whatever entity, whatever being is telling people to kill people over land is the bad guy. It's bullshit. He's a fucking asshole. And people believe this in Islam. People believe this in Judaism and Christianity. You look back at the Old Testament. The Old Testament God, look, I have a spiritual side. I've had a lot of experiences in my life. I believe that there's something else going on here. I'm pretty sure of it. But I think the Old Testament God, that guy, Jehovah, he was an asshole. And he stirred up a lot of shit. And but I don't think it was him. I think it was self-righteous, jealous, all the shitty characteristics that are given to the Old Testament God, angry, jealous, wrathful. That's just the characteristics of the asshole people that were doing all the killing back then. And they used God to justify it. That's what I think. And, there's still killing going on to this day. Look at the Israeli and the Palestinian shit happening right now. You know how much? There are other aspects to it, but do you know how much of it is religious? They were promised that land. The Palestinians are in the land that's theirs because God said in the book, it's in the book. But it's also, in the book to slaughter and sacrifice animals and stone women in the street and everything. So why don't we just go all the way with it? Just put all the women in the street that are not virgins and stone them to death, right? Like, what the fuck are we doing in 2025 still? And not only, the people involved in wars and murder and slaughter aren't the only ones to blame. We have people, human beings living in America and other, Western societies that are still believing in this character from this book, and if it was legal, would probably be slaughtering people as well. Where they're already judging. I've already had the number of people I've had disassociate from me and unfriend me and block me on Facebook strictly over religious because I'm speaking what I think is truth, right? I'm being logical and reasonable and rational and loving, as opposed to let's worship the character in the book that says to kill everybody, and you know what I mean? It's asinine, and if you are wrapped up in any of that mentality, in any kind of a thought process that justifies BS of that nature, then you're to blame, whether you're killing somebody or not. If you are venerating and trying to preach the word of a tradition that's steeped in bloodshed, you might want to take a look in the mirror and reevaluate what it is you're doing with your life and potentially the lives of others. That's all this video is. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's disgusting, and I think many people probably deep down know better, but they're so indoctrinated and brainwashed into whatever religious system that they happen to be a part of, religious and political. It's just all wars, all slaughters, all this whole ridiculous cycle can stop with people putting guns down. It's not the leaders. It's not the the old, rich, pompous leaders that are really responsible. All of you young people, all of you simple-minded idiots that are carrying guns into other lands and shooting people because some old ridiculous person told you to do it, you're to blame. Put the guns down. Stop it. Please.